Emperor is the newest coaster installment at Seaworld San Diego. This new for 2022 small-scale B&M dive coaster is perfect for what it does. This was a great addition to the park and helped deepen the shallow lineup. I am so happy to have this machine at my home park and can always look forward to Emperor for a good ride. For today's video, we will be analyzing and reviewing Emperor and giving it a score out of 10. Before we start the video, I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It means a lot more than you think and will help a small channel like us grow. First of all, we should talk about the theming. I'm just going to be straight up, it's abysmal. Emperor sits on a plot of dirt that was once the parking lot. The queue line is a cement path with some bushes on the side. It's pretty bad. It wouldn't have been too much money to put in some ice caps or something, would it have, SeaWorld? I don't think it's too expensive and would have greatly benefited the ride experience. Anyways, Emperor is themed to the majestic dive and Emperor Penguin. The color choice is very nice, but that doesn't really deserve a compliment because it was done by the city of San Diego. One cool thing to note is that Seaworld San Diego is home to the only Emperor Penguins in North America. Once you're past the abysmal queue line, you can go up to the station and you will probably notice some issues. There is no roof. Emperor gets so much hate for this. I really don't see it as a problem. I know it's a hot take, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't mind it whatsoever. Yes, there's no shade on the side of the park. Yes, it can get hot in San Diego, but I went on a hot summer day and I had absolutely zero problem with the roofless station. This ride is tucked in the back of the park, making it really hard to find. This combined with the fact that Seaworld San Diego does not get that busy keeps the line really short. Also, this is a B&M capacity monster, so yeah. In my 30 or so rides on Emperor, I do not think I have ever waited over 15 minutes for it. Seriously, and I go on weekends and busy summer days. I just have never seen a line, and you do not get too hot, so roof over the station is not a huge problem. This in San Diego has some of the best weather in the world, it barely rains here, so the roof is not as necessary as some people think it is. Please just stop complaining. I'd like to take a second to talk about the trains. This coaster seats 3 rows of 6 for a total of 18 riders and has the B&M vest restraints you would see on other dive coasters. This is very restricting and makes the forces hard to feel when riding. Another thing to note is that this is a B&M dive coaster, this is a floorless train, although in all honesty, it really does not do much for me, except for clearing the view on the front row and some occasional foot choppers. Once you're dispatched, you'll take a 180-degree right turn and climb up the 153-foot chain lift. This lift hill is seriously fast. It feels like a cable lift you would see on I-305 or Skyrush, except it's a chain lift. This helps add to the operations quite a bit as Emperor does not contain a mid-course brake run, however I still see SeaWorld finding a way to stack trains. Once you make your way up the lift hill, you have a 180-degree scenic turnaround. Here you get amazing views of Mission Bay, and once you make the turn, you can see the ocean. You can even see the city of San Diego off into the distance. You then have your signature element of a dive coaster, the holding brake and a first drop. This element scares the literal heck out of the general public, but it does not faze me whatsoever. This being small scale does not really put you high up in the air. This is where the front row is really the best. The view is so much better up front and you're looking straight at the ground on the holding brake. However, the decision is up to you because the back row provides a little more stronger airtime. I would describe the drop as a floaty fall to the ground. You don't get much airtime, just very faint floater. The back row does get a little extra, but in my personal opinion, it's not worth the cost of the view. You have a decently forceful pullout and transitions into an Immelman. This inversion is not super whippy, but gives riders a nice bit of hang time. This is then followed by what SeaWorld dubbed a hammerhead turn, which is an overbank. It does not do too much with the forces. You then go into a 0G roll. This inversion has a decent amount of whip and a really good foot chopper if you're seated on the right edge. You then go through another turn and into a corkscrew. This does not have as much whip as a 0G roll, but does have some more great foot choppers with support beams. The coaster then turns in the station, still carrying a lot of speed. This ride is pretty quick and is my main complaint with it. I wish it had a little more, it almost feels incomplete to me. You do come into the final brake run with a good amount of speed, so I definitely think SeaWorld and B&M could have added 1 or 2 more elements in the ride. That being said, you fly through this layout. I'm pretty sure this is one of the best paced dive coasters, if not I would be very surprised. You keep your speed all the way through the layout and it does not disappoint there. The inversions are whippy for a dive coaster. It's more of a graceful, smooth flowing type of ride, but there are some whippy inversions. The inversions mesh nicely with each other and the layout is pretty predictable. My favorite seat on this coaster is the front row right side, though back row right side can be argued for. The front row has the views and the right side has the foot choppers, the back row has the extra airtime, and it has a slight rattle. I'm really sorry, I had to point that out. I am very prone to roughness, and I can notice a very slight rattle in the back row. This is your typical B&M rattle, maybe even less noticeable because the coaster is brand new. It's pretty much ignorable, you probably wouldn't even notice it. I'm just very specific. Now to wrap things up, I would like to say Emperor was a perfect fit to Seaworld San Diego and I really appreciate this new addition at my home park. It is definitely worth checking out if you are in Southern California. This is what Seaworld San Diego needed to round it off their shallow lineup. This is their only real coaster with a chain lift, and yet they are adding another launch coaster next year. Weird decision, but okay. Anyways, Emperor is a smooth, graceful, and a fun ride. The lack of theming is pretty bad, but it does not completely ruin the ride. The roofless station is not a problem whatsoever, and for the following reasons, I'm going to give Emperor a ranking of 7 out of 10. That's all for today's video, guys. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.